Hello YouTube, back once again with the iZombie reviews, and here we are with the review of the entirety of Season 1. I do give entire seasons a score. So, let's get into it. This is my review of the first season of iZombie. Will be spoilers. Well, first let's talk about the first major great thing about this show is the lead performance of Rose McIva as Liv Moore. Sorry I called her Rose McLever in the first few reviews. It just when I first saw that name, I saw it typed out. I didn't think through the whole fact that once MC, the next letter will be capital, so I thought that was a lowercase L instead of an uppercase I. Sorry about that. But Rose McIva was just such a wonderful lead. She was incredibly likable from beginning to end, just so charming and so charismatic. She was always so much fun. She was rarely just depressed on the fact like, oh god, I'm a zombie. What's the point of living? Rarely anything like that. She was just so much fun and so charismatic. That the fact she's a female lead was great. Like, and it never became a big thing. She was a female lead. Like, no, like her sexuality or anything. She's like never like a damsel or anything like that. She is like constantly like saving herself a good part of this show. So Rose McIva, was a wonderful lead, and I gotta say it was also a very impressive performance by Rose McIva on the grounds that like just how diverse she had to be with her acting, with like the different personalities, like how like because each brain she ate was a different personality. She had to take on those traits, and she did just such an unbelievable job. Okay, it's not as impressive as say Tatiana Maslany from Orphan Black, when basically every clone was a completely different person, but God, still, just a great performance. Really, a really impressive one at that, too. So, Rose McIva, wonderful lead for the show. And the main supporting cast was also wonderful. Well, first, it was pretty awesome how ethically diverse the supporting cast was. But, like, first, like, with Raul Coley, I hope I'm saying that right, as Ravi, he was just once again, he was super likable. I loved his friendship with Liv. I love the bond the two grow with one another. Just that friendship they have and how much they're willing to confide in one another. And I also loved how he would always also have fun screwing with Liv in the like the different personalities she would take. That always made me laugh. Like, I think my favorite is when Liv eats the brain of like the mother, and she gets really maternal, and then Robbie is just like, oh please, will you make me a peanut butter sandwich with the crust cut off? Like, that Robbie was great. Malcolm Goodwin as Clive, he was also so much fun. Once again, really likable. He kicked so much ass, and I always thought he was so funny the way he would respond to Liv on the grounds that he did not know she was a zombie and would just basically just think like all the weird, just how he confused he always looked when Liv would just constantly be switching personalities. I thought was freaking hilarious. So Clive was great. Robert Buckley as Major. This was surprising. At first, he started off terrible. I hated this character. I was always like, "Oh God, we're going back to Major anytime." When it started off, but no, as like with the season went on, he became like such a likable character, just becoming like so helpful for the whole anti-zombie, like bringing down some of the evil zombies. Like, he was just a really likable, really being a really likable, really nice character that you did care for. Like, definitely during the finale, like, I was really worried for his fate. I was really afraid he would die, and definitely showed. Like, because if they had the first time, if it was like the first few episodes and he like was in danger of dying, I'd be like, I don't care. But I really cared about his fate during when we were reaching the finale of the season. Then finally, David Anders as Blaine. He was a really good villain. Just me being not kind of like a scary villain, like, oh god, oh my god, this man's uncomfortable. No, just the type of villain who's just so evil and such a douchebag. You just so want to see him get killed and just get what he deserves. He was a really good villain, and I gotta say it was really interesting he wasn't killed off. I was so suspecting him to be killed off, so that was interesting, the fact he survived the season. So supporting cast, all great. And for a show about zombies in this day and age, this show was so much fun. I mean, this was not The Walking Dead, where basically every episode is every character walking around in such misery, like looking like, what's the point of living anymore? No, this had all, like I said, the cast was so likable. That and the show could be just incredibly funny, like I said, just with like the different characters' reactions to one another, and just mainly to Liv, and just all the personalities she would take on, and just could be so funny. Just that, and like I said, Liz, some of the personalities Liv took were just freaking hilarious. I think the ones that got me laughing the hardest was when she ate the brain of the cheerleader, just how happy-go-lucky she got that, and when she ate the brain of the artist, when she became just like really pretentious, I thought was just had me just near tears of laughter, just freaking hilarious. That, but I'll also say this show could be dark at times. Like it could get pretty dark. I was surprised how dark it got. It got like some of the fights were really intense, like especially when it was zombie versus zombie. Literally, just zombie was just being stabbed through the limbs and just like barely reacting, but still you just see someone's like knife through someone's hand. The rest of the fight was like, ew, god, that's unpleasant. And even though with Liv, how they get around the whole like her eating brains thing by she works at a morgue, just the fact she works on a morgue, like, with, like, the evil zombie group, Blaine's evil zombie group, they got really dark with the kills. Like, you basically just saw, like, hey, like, well, you didn't see, you just saw, like, the blood spatters. You basically just knew, like, this people were, like, being, like, blood, were just, like, heads were being just, like, chopped right open, was, like, really, really dark and pretty unpleasant, so... God, this show could be intense at times, and that I gotta say, I was really impressed by this show. This show fixed some, like, it's just like its issues, like in just the first few episodes, some of its major issues in the first few episodes. Sorry, like I wrote this, like one, like Liv's monologue she said in the first few episodes about being a zombie, I found that were kind of annoying. Pretty much got rid of them in the first few episodes. She was still monologue, but they'd be pretty quick things now, and they wouldn't just be like really dark and like, oh god, to be a zombie, how hard. Like, no, it just get very quick and very not annoying in the slightest. That they, like I said, they made major interesting over the course of this season. That was pretty impressive, and that I also love they gotta fix the major plot hole. A lot of people were pointing out in the first few episodes, like, how are all these people just getting into this morgue, like, non-stop, like there's no issue getting in there, like because it's not easy to get into a morgue. You need a license or you need like some sort of like credentials to get in there, like. But so, and they even bring that up. They're like basically just someone's like, oh yeah, Liv, like you can't keep, like people can't get in the morgue as easily anymore. Like so that it was really impressive, the fact they were able to just like in the first few episodes able to fix these issues were amazing. That and the season ended on a really good spot. I don't know, a pretty good cliffhanger, got me really excited for season 2. That it just like left you with the feeling that like dark things were coming with this impending, it feels like zombie war that could happen, and that felt like there was a bigger battle to rage against like now like this evil company that's basically making the zombies and are now gonna try and make basically like superhumans. Like, so it definitely left on a very exciting note for season 2. Definitely excited. Let's talk about the bad this season now. One of the minor, this was kind of annoying, just an annoying thing that happened through the second half of the season was just how they would not stop lying to Major about zombies. How basically everyone was just, what I mean by everyone, I mean Clive was just, Ravi was just like, oh, Liv, your boyfriend is constantly risking his life and is going to be killed by zombies probably because he doesn't know they're zombies. And she's like, and Liv went just the entire season was just like, no, let's not tell him they're zombies. It got annoying. I was just like, just tell him they're zombies. Tell Clive they're zombies. Just let this happen. Like, it was getting, like, really annoying in parts. And, that was an issue. Some of the personalities Liv took were kind of dull. Like, the one who was, like, not afraid of, like, wanted to live life to the fullest, like, barely led to anything. Like, I think the only thing that really led to was, like, Liv happily rode a bike around. That was it. I was like, wow, that wasn't very fun at all when she took that braid. The show kind of fell into the trap that a lot of CW shows kind of fall into the trap too, whether it be Arrow, Flash, like, it got a big case of the weakish at certain points. Like, basically, like, there wouldn't, like, be, like, any, like, development in the overarching plot, just be a case of the week, and you'd be like, well, that certainly happened. And, yeah, so got a bit too case of the week formula. And another huge issue was Blaine, his zombie group felt a bit too distant this season. Like, it took too long for our heroes to figure them out. Like I said, because like Major's like the first one to figure them out, and he's the only one who like tries to do anything about them for a while. Like, Liv doesn't try to do anything about them until the season finale, essentially. I was just like, yeah, god damn it. It's just like they needed to be like this season had to be a bit more of Liv and her group trying to bring the Blaine's group down, but like, because they did feel just kind of like, whoa, you're kind of far away from everything else. Like you felt like you were kind of watching a different show anytime they showed up. I was like, yeah, okay. So that was one of my major issues. Then finally, I really wish Clive learned that Liv was a zombie at the end of this season. Like, I'm so annoyed that basically, like, essentially almost every other character, except for, like, the minor characters, like Liv's family, who, I gotta say, kind of suck. Liv's family, I always hate seeing them. But even her roommate now knows that, like, their zombies exist and she's a zombie, except for Clive. I'm just like, come on, Clive can be so helpful. He's a detective. He could be so helpful if he knew that Liv was a zombie. But no, he still doesn't know. I really want him to. I really hope he quickly learns in season 2 that she's a zombie. I really hope that he learns that very quick. But so yeah, that's my only issues with the show. All I can say though is a fantastic first season to a new show. I'd say better than the premiere season of both Arrow and The Flash. And before you say, "Oh wait, but those shows had such unbelievable highs," yes, they did. But they went through some low points that show. Season was I thought was consistently great from beginning to end. Unlike Flash and Arrow, when they get to like the overarching plots, it's like fantastic. But like when it's case of the week, you're just like, oh my god, like it gets kind of dull. This show I thought was consistently great from beginning to end. So that's why I'm gonna give iZombie a very solid 9 out of 10. It was four and a half out of 5. It was a great, just wonderful first season to a new show. Definitely excited for season 2 now. YouTube, as always, please subscribe. I will see you next time.